Shalom, Hebrew. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. I.S.U.P.K. today is run by Commanding General YAHANNA, the man with the rank and the authority to be the leader of the nation at this time. The I.S.U.P.K. is an organization that is dedicated to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, who are the Israelites of the Bible. I want to say Yahweh Basham Yahushai Barakatam to my brothers, Yahweh Shamar Alatan Basham Yahushai to my sisters. Law class. Now, what's trending in Jamaica? Nah, not the policeman. Yeah, but the policeman. But the breaking down of the vendor stall actually across the island. Breaking down the police, the government knocking down the stalls. Downtown clean. Maypen certain section knock out. Yeah. Cracking down and vending. Cracking down and vending. Why? That's what I would like to know. But what I see is us being cursed in the city. Yeah, because when they get rid of the vendors, who start to make the money? The stores, established stores. So the vendors lose out. The established stores gain. So I wonder what is behind all this knocking down of, all this knocking down of vending stalls. I don't know. Anyways, from the time of Moses, we were given cities for our inheritance, that we may make, what do you call it, money, collect revenue, place to sell our produce, place to make money in a city. But boy, that's us, stiff-necked. Go to Joshua 17.
Another one gun. Another one gun.
So just like our father said, that we are going to suffer because we don't hear, that is exactly what is happening. Joshua 17.
Another one gun.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 1.
Yeah, 1, we're going right through.
Another one gun.
Starting from 1.
Another one gun. Joshua chapter 17, verse 1. There was also a lot for the was the first for the tribe of Manasseh, Salakia, for he was the firstborn of Joseph, to wit, for Machir the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war, therefore he had Gilead and Bashan.
All right. So Manasseh, this is what, there was a lot for the tribe of Manasseh. So Manasseh, the lands were lotted by tribes. So this boundary that is named is for a certain tribe. We Benjamite, we got a lot for Benjamin, but the tribe of Joseph got a lot for Manasseh and another lot for Ephraim. 2 separate lots. Continue.
Another one, verse 2. There was also a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh by their families, for the children of Abiazar, and for the children of Elek, and for the children of Asriel, and for the children of Shechem, and for the children of Epher, and for the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh, and the sons of Joseph by their families.
The children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, by their families. So Manasseh, the lands are allotted to the male. There was one instance where it was allotted to female. I think we'll get to that. But the lands were allotted to the male in the tribe. So they tell you the males in the more predominant males in Manasseh. All right, go ahead. 3 now.
Another one, verse 3. But Zelophehad, the son of Epher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but daughters.
Oh, here it is. Right. So coming down, one of the male had no sons, only daughters. Continue.
And these are the names of his daughters: Mala, and Noah, Haglia, Milcah, and Tirzah. Verse 4. And they came near before Eleazar the priest, and before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the princes, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brethren. Therefore, according to the commandments of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among the brethren of their father. Verse 5. And there fell 10 portions to Manasseh beside the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the other side Jordan.
Right. These were lands which they had to clear the kings. These kings were cleared in Moses' time and these lands were given to Manasseh. This was the other side of the Jordan. So we got lands on both sides of the Jordan. 6.
Another one, verse 6. Because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead. Verse 7. And the coast of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmithah, that lieth before Shechem, and the border went along on the right hand unto the inhabitants of En-Tappuah. Verse 8. Now Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah and the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. Verse 9. And the coast descended unto the river Kana, southward of the river. These cities of Ephraim are among the cities of Manasseh. The coast of Manasseh also was on the north side of the river, and the outgoings of it were at the sea. Verse 10. Southward it was Ephraim's, and northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea is his border. and they met together in Asher on the north, and in Issachar on the east. Verse 11. And Manasseh had in Issachar and in Asher Beth Shean and her towns, and Ibleam and her towns, and the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Endor and her towns, and the inhabitants of Taanach and her towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, even 3 cities. Countries, Slovakia. Verse 12.
Right. So these cities have adjoining towns. Now look at these inheritance that we're getting. It wasn't one city sharing for one tribe, you know. One tribe having several cities. I'm talking separate from the towns. All right. So we're dealing with Manasseh. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 12. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land.
All right. So they gained the land of the Canaanites, and guess what? Many of the Canaanites were still in the land. Continue, 13.
Another one can. Verse 13. Yet it came to pass, when the children of Israel were waxing strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, but did not utterly drive them out. Verse 14.
All right, and tribute is one again.
Tribute is
All right, look
is
for
like
it.
tax.
Look for it. One thing go about the pay tribute definition. Right, doing Thomas.
Another one can. To honor and praise. Slovakia.
What that tribute is like when you're paying tribute to somebody who's dead or so. So, in the land of Manasseh, they inherited the cities, but why? They could not drive out the Africans, who were the Canaanites. They could not drive them out. So, what they did, but they managed to walk strong and force them into tax. But there was no tax arrangement in the law that the Most High had put on us. He said, drive them out, kill them out, make no deal with them. That's what the Most High had said.
Another one can. Tribute, a payment in money or other valuables made by one ruler or nation to another in acknowledgement of submission or as the price of protection or security.
All right, so just like the things that we here in Jamaica pay to IMF, World Bank, what do you call it, USAID, and other organizations. How they get us to pay tribute, you know, they lend you some money. Money that you can never repay. So you pay them back these money with interest, and those interests are just as taxable. Verse what do I know?
Verse 14. Verse 14, and the children of Joseph spake unto Joshua, saying, Why hast thou given me but one lot and one portion to inherit, seeing I am a great people, for as much as the Lord has blessed me hitherto? Verse 15, and Joshua answered them, If thou be a great people, then get thee up to the wood country, and cut down for thyself there in the land of the Perizzites and of the giants, if Mount Ephraim be too narrow for thee. Verse 16, and the children of Joseph said, The hill is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites that dwell in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both they who have chariots of iron, both they who are of Bethshean and her towns, and they who are of the valley of Jezreel. Verse 17, and Joshua spake unto the house of Joseph, even to Ephraim and to Manasseh, saying, Thou art a great people, and hast great power. Thou shalt not have one lot only. Verse 18, but the mountain shall be thine, for it is a wood, and thou shalt cut it down, and the outgoing of it shall be thine, for thou shalt drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots, and though they be strong.
That's verse 1.
Verse 18.
Right, so these lands that Ephraim was getting had these people that were bigger than them, that they call giants, which had chariots of iron. So it's like they have more sophisticated war machines. But the Joshua is telling them, well, if we're to give you not enough, there is more, but go and kill off them people and take it. That's what the Most High say you should do. Drive them out. Don't make any deal with them.
Yeah.
All right. So obviously Manasseh did not get out all the Perizzites who dwell in their land. Their land had Perizzites and wells. Right. Perizzites were the giants. Perizzite and of the giants. All right. 18.
Another one gone, verse 18. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel assembled together at Shiloh, and set up the tabernacle of the congregation there, and the land was subdued before them. Verse 2, and there remained among the children of Israel 7 tribes, which had not yet received their inheritance. Verse 3, and Joshua said unto the children of Israel, How long art ye slack to go to possess the land which the Lord God of your fathers have given you? Verse 4, give out from among you 3 men for each tribe, and I will send them, and they shall rise and go through the land, and describe it according to the inheritance of them, and they shall come again to me. Verse 5.
So this is like sending spies again in these lands that we are supposed to take. Lot of land, you know. Think of some lands bigger than Jamaica, which you didn't have car like now and transportation. You have to go on foot to drive and go into the countryside and all, but to put these people, to get them diseased out the land and to utterly destroy them. Not an easy task, but it was a task that the Most High gave us and said that we should do. And we not doing it shows disobedience. We disobedient, being disobedient to the Most High. All right, verse 1.
Verse 5. Verse 5. And they shall divide it into 7 parts. Judah shall abide in their coast and the south, and the house of Joseph shall abide in their coast and the north. Verse 6. He shall therefore describe the land into 7 parts, and bring the description hither to me, that I may cast lots for you here before the Lord our God.
All right. So we have to inherit some land we don't even know it look. These are lands that we don't have any map. When we were going to inherit these lands, we didn't have maps, we didn't have no idea of how these lands look. We had to use spies who would go into the land, scout it out, see how it looked, and be good at describing these lands back to Joshua so that he can organize troops to get in. Lot of work. What now, 5?
Verse 7. But the Levites have no part among you, for the priesthood of the Lord is their inheritance. And Gad and Reuben and the half the tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond Jordan and the east, which Moses, the servant of the Lord, gave them.
Right. So some tribes got their land outside. Good grazing land. And they were, Gad obviously was, who are the Gadites today?
The Gadites are the Native American Indians.
Right. You know why them and the Manassites and Reuben took these lands that were outside the era that the Most High gave us. These were good grazing land, good grassland.
God.
And they obviously were herders of cattle. You know, cattle don't mean cow. Cattle is the animals that graze. So they had sheep, they had goat, they had cows, they had horse and donkey and mule and you name them. Right? So these animals, these tribes who raised animals got these lush, and these were huge lands which were good for grazing. All right, continue.
Another one gun. Verse 8. And the men arose and went away, and Joshua charged them that went to describe the land, saying, Go and walk through the land and describe it, and come again to me, that I may hear. Cast lots for you before the Lord in Shiloh. Verse 9. And the men went and passed through the land and described it by cities into 7 parts in a book, and came again to Joshua to the host of Shiloh. Verse 10. And Joshua cast lots for them in Shiloh before the Lord, and there Joshua divided the land unto the children of Israel according to their divisions.
Right.
Verse 11. And the lot of the tribe of the children of Benjamin came up according to their families, and the coast of their lot came forth between the children of Judah and the children of Joseph. Verse 12. And their border on the north side was from Jordan, and the border went up to the side of Jericho on the north side, and went up through the mountains westward, and the goings out thereof were at the wilderness of Beth-Aven.
All right. So Beth-Aven. So we know the Benjamites, who are the West Indians, Jamaicans, Trinidad, Barbados, Belize. You name the West Indian island, excluding which country of the West Indies would be excluded here now? Tell me.
Haiti.
Haiti and Wales.
And Cuba.
And Cuba and Wales.
I can put Dominica on that as well.
Dominica, that's the one beside Haiti.
Can.
That's a tribe of Simeon. Right. So, and Wales.
In the West Indies.
Guyana.
Okay, can.
Guyana, not Benjamin. Guyana is on the Benjamites are there, but they are on South America.
Can.
Right. So these us Benjamites, that's why we like hilly country. So we got a lot of hilly lands. The majority of our inheritance was among Judah, which was why when the country when Israel split into north and south, Benjamin couldn't go with the other tribes. Benjamin had to stay with Judah because that's where our inheritance was. But the others could have gone on their own. So let's see what Judah got now. So let's see what Benjamin got. Verse 12 now?
No, verse 13.
Verse 13.
And the border went over from thence towards Luz, to the side of Luz, which is Bethel, southward. And the border descended to Ataroth Adar, near the hill that lieth on the south side of the nether Beth Oran. Verse 14. And the border was drawn thence and compassed the corner of the sea southward from the hill that lieth before Beth Oran southward. And the goings out thereof were at Kirjath Baal, which is Kirjath Jearim, a city of the children of Judah. This was the west quarter. Verse 15. And the south quarter was from the end of Kirjath Jearim, and the border went out on the west, and went out to the well of waters of Nephtoah. Verse 16. And the border came down to the end of the mountain that lieth before the valley of the son of Hinnom, and which is in the valley of the giants on the north, and descended to the valley of Hinnom to the side of Jebusian, the south, and descended to En-Rogel. Verse 17. And was drawn from the north, and went forth to En-Shemech, and went forth towards Gelilah, which is over against the going up of Adumim, and descended to the stone of Boan, the son of Reuben. Verse 18. And passed along towards the side over against Arabah northward, and went down unto Arabah. Verse 19. And the border passed along to the side of Beth Ogla northward, and the outgoings of the border were at the north bay of the Salt Sea at the south end of Jordan. This was the south coast. Verse 20. And Jordan was the border of it on the east side. This was the inheritance of the children of Benjamin.
So that was the land by which, well, this is a description of the map of the land. Understand? It was described verbally how the borders run. Just like you will be wearing Clarendon. So just like we'll be describing how the borders of Clarendon run. To the east you would have St. Catherine, and you would talk how we go all the way down to the sea and run northward onto the parish of St. Anne's and continue westward along St. Anne to where it would reach Manchester, and then it run on the west side towards the south, towards the sea.
God.
Right. So it's a similar thing like that, describing the physical borders of the inheritance for Benjamin and any other one that you hear the description. So which means even today you can track it. You can find what these lands today. Now, Benjamite, that's us. Look at the life we are living in the West Indies now. If you pay a tribute, you can't get to rise. You can't rise. They're not allowing you to rise. Now you see where we'll soon get to that. Let's go through some more Benjamite inheritance. Verse what to stop a while ago, 20?
Yeah, finish in verse 20.
This was the inheritance, right? By the coast.
God. By the coast thereof, round about according to their families.
Right. Now the cities, look at the cities that we get now. 21.
Another one gone, verse 21. Now the cities of the tribe of the children of Benjamin, according to their families, were Jericho.
The famous Jericho that was the one that on the walls of Jericho.
God.
So we got that land. All right, continue.
Another one gone.
Bet Hogla.
And Bet Hogla and the valley of Kezis. Verse 22. And Bet Araba and Zama Raim and Bethel. Verse 23. And Avim and Para and Afra. Verse 24. And Chephar, Manai.
What a name.
And Ophni and Gaba. 12 cities with their villages.
All right. And that's just part of it. Finish it, we're going 12 cities so far. These are places that we get to run, Continue.
Another one gone, verse 25. Gibeon and Ramah and Beerah. Verse 26. And Mizpeh and Chephirah and Moza. Verse 27. And Rechem and Erpeel and Tarala. Verse 28. And Zela, Eleph, and Jebusi, which is Jerusalem. And Gibeah and Kirjath, 14 cities with their villages.
Right. So in other from the 12, this is 14 more. That is almost 12 and 14 is almost no, 21. 6.
Good.
26 cities and their villages. All right. Think of, let's say, back in those days, a city was just as big as, say, Maypen. But you got 26 cities so far. Let's continue.
Another one gone.
First one.
This is the inheritance of the children of Benjamin according to their families. Now verse 19.
All right, so what was it? 14 and 12, 20. 20 something, 26. Right, 26 cities and their villages, meaning, well, let's say village back then. Today, what's it, the more modern term they use for those now? Those area outside the city that people would live.
Residential areas.
Residential areas within the city.
Suburbs.
Suburbs.
Okay.
So 26 cities and their suburbs. That's what the country still, white man coming out of the city, you know, and say him live in a country, he said he live in the suburbs.
Good.
Meaning suburban. Urban is the city, but you have adjoining lands outside the city, which is sub to the city. So him says suburban and short it and says suburbs.
Good.
Now, but these were places that we inherited, 20 had. And that was just Benjamin. Now, we have to talk a little about Benjamin and what we have given up for what we have today. We weren't the only ones being disobedient. You know, that's the first thing we always say still. And number one,
Okay.
is the whole 12 away. All right, obviously. But look at what we gave up. 20 odd cities. Name the cities that we have now that we control within the Caribbean. All right, let's name the ones that we are in. In Jamaica, we have one. Not city in Jamaica. 2 major cities. And we can say we have 2 sub-cities. Not as big as the first 2, which is Montego Bay and Kingston. That's the 2 major cities. Then you have Spanish Town and you have Portmore, which is right behind Montego Bay and Kingston in size. The other ones are really towns. But trust me, they make money. You know, Maypen, Maypen, it was probably about 5-6 years ago. Maypen was one of the fastest growing towns in the English speaking Caribbean. Presently, it's Old Harbor, which means, you know, money is spending, money is making in these areas. What have we given up in order to what have we, look at what we have given up, lands that were given to us, which we don't pay tax. We didn't pay tax for these lands, which was called our inheritance, right? We didn't pay tax, and we reached the stage that we were collecting tributes from the Africans. But I won't see that as any great thing, because that was going against what the Most High commanded us to do. All right. But look at what we are experiencing today. And I'm talking just recently, as recent as just 1 week ago, if so long, since we probably, they might speak more about it. Kingston, the removal of vendors. Parts of Maypen, removal of vendors. And then these are what I know about. So I know that it's going on in other towns right across the island. What's the reason? We don't know, because they don't mention it. There's no mention that they were going to do it. People just go there and they start gone. You know, it's like they just plan to do it across the island at once. And they have removed our people from what is called, what we term, Deuteronomy 28, what we term flat foot hustling.
Another one's gone.
You know, we can't say we do business in the town, you know. We say we do buy and sell. That's what our people call it. Buy and sell. So this buy and sell is like another economy separate from the economy, which the mainstream economy, which you have the buildings, the stores that are regulated by the government, pay taxes. Vendors do pay taxes too, because the municipal government charge them for the vending along the street. Now, as to if they are able to collect at all times, I won't get into that, because they are not. The government is not able to collect from the mainstream businesses at all times either, right? So they pay taxes. Everybody pay GCT. That's tax, consumption tax. We might the vendors might not be required to do what they call it again? What they call that thing you do at the end of the year? Tax returns. They might not be required to do tax returns, but if they import, the government charge them everything at once while they import. They are required to pay their NHT and NIS like everybody else. Now, let's see what is happening. Deuteronomy 28, verse 1.
Canada one gun. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
All right. So this was in what we're reading now in Joshua. That was it then. We were being set on high above all the nations. We were keeping the laws. Yeah, we were falling down still, but in Joshua time, we did keep the laws. We were keeping the laws in Joshua time. Verse 2 says,
Canada one gun, verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Verse 3. Blessed shall thou be in the city, and blessed shall thou be in the field.
All right. When you are blessed in this city, find Joshua on your phone. Joshua, what again?
Joshua 17.
You're at 17.
19 now. Don't go at 19.
All right. Which one? Oh, we just finished 18. All right. So it's 17 where Manasseh was not able to cast out all the thing there, but they began, they grew and were able to make them pay tribute. The verse what that?
That's verse
13.
Verse 13.
Joshua 17 and 13.
Another one gone. Joshua chapter 17, verse 13. Yet it came to pass, when the children of Israel were waxing strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute.
All right, so they were able to put the Canaanites to tribute, even though that was not what the Most High wanted. But that is you being blessed in the city.
Good.
You collecting the taxes, right? So back to Deuteronomy 28, it says, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. So we were able to collect taxes from these Canaanites to make them tributaries unto us. All right. Drop down Deuteronomy 28, drop down to 15.
Another one gone. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
So if we don't listen to the voice of the Lord, our God, which is commanding us, and today we listen to the voice of the Most High by the Bible, not you staying home and read the Bible, but you coming into the truth. You find the I.S.U.P.K. You find we are the priests and prophets of today, right? You find the I.S.U.P.K. to give you the proper interpretations, not interpretation according to your oppressor, not interpretation according to our fake Israelites, but the proper interpretations of the Word of God, so that you can get the blessing as you should get it. Even though the blessing don't come individually. So when we sing about, oh, I am blessed and highly favored, that's crap. The Most High don't work like that. He bless us as a nation and he punish us as a nation. We are going through punishment now. So you find yourself having something as an individual, you're just lucky, right? You just drop through the cracks. Now the Most High allow you to drop through the cracks, so that you can go back and help your people, ease some of the pressure, because the oppressor not doing it. So you are the one. The burden is on you, the Israelite, who have made it, to ease the pressure on some of your fellow Israelite brothers, right? So if we don't listen, what is going to happen? These curses is going to come upon thee and overtake us, meaning you can't run from it. You might see, it's like this, we in Jamaica, we're talking about this, and we look and we say, blurs need, say, the next 5 years, things are going rough, In other words, we see it coming, right?
Yeah.
But, and then we say, so, and we know the truth, right? We understand the scriptures. We see it coming, and we say to ourselves, so things are going to get rougher in Jamaica. We'll move out of the States, But what is happening? When the curses overtake you, no matter where you go.
God.
So you move to the States, you can't run from the curse.
Same thing.
Same thing. All right, 16 says what now?
Another one gone. Verse 16. Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
Cursed thou shalt thou be in the city. So you try your flat foot, you relegate it to, because of these curses, you're in the city. You can't get no job. When you do get a job, it's hand to mouth. You find yourself with a little money and say, boy, I'm going to try a little business in a place. Go and get go and get one of the good spots to rent if you want. Yeah, you ain't getting it. Even if it's one of the prime spot available, you're not getting it. That's reserved for the other races, right? Reserved for the other races, because you are the one who's cursed. So what we end up doing now, we end up with juggle on the street side. But just the fact that they are juggling, is that a curse too, because you don't want a prime business area.
God.
I mean, you pack out your stuff in the day and you take it up in the night. And what happened? You come there now since this week. You come out one morning, when you look, the stall where you set up, gone. Just lick down and mash up. You can't go build it back, because you and the authorities are going to be in problem. So that is being cursed in the cities. There is no ease among these people that is upon us, right? In these, I don't know if we can find it. So you see, tell the boy, these curses is coming upon us. But it's not just the fact that it's curse, you know. But all right, I want to find this. In Deuteronomy 28, where it says that among these people, nations that the Lord shall send upon them, we shall find no ease. We shall be oppressed we shall oppressed evermore. All right, 65.
Another one gone.
Right down to 65.
Another one gone. Verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
No, it's funny that the most I put it that way, and when you look, you see our people running from police because they're trying to sell something. Eh?
God.
Can't even stand up and sell in peace. The sole of their feet shall have no rest.
God.
Continue, finish that verse.
Another one gone. But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind.
Trembling heart is what? Fear.
Fear.
So you fear the cops. You fear the gunman who will come joke you down here because they rob the vendors them too, you know.
God.
Right. So you have to look out for gunman, you have to look out for the police. And if you do make a money most time you go home, why something at the home take it away. Right? So this is you having no ease. But at the same time, we know that we are in Egypt, right? And when the Most High had begin to send the plagues on Egypt, that was Genesis what again? Or was it Exodus?
Exodus.
When the Most High sent Moses to Pharaoh, telling Pharaoh to let the Most High people go into the wilderness for 3 days. And he said, so you have time, increase their work. Make them look them one straw. Genesis that? Yeah. All right. Let me see one of the phrases I can search for them. Let them cut them all their own straws for their bricks. I suppose I can find it like that.
In Exodus 5, verse 1, and after Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh this saying, saying, the Lord God of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me. In the wilderness, Pharaoh said, who is the Lord, that I should obey his voice? Verse 4, and the king of Egypt said unto them, wherefore do ye, Moses and Aaron?
It's here, man. So we're going to read from 1 to about, all right, let's see how far down we're going. Making brick without straw. All right, Exodus 5 and 1. Start from 1.
Another one gone. Exodus chapter 1, 5. Exodus chapter 5, verse 1. And afterward Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, Thus saith the Lord God of Israel, Let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness.
Right. So in the Egypt that we are in today, we're not asking, we have no willingness to go in to hold any feast unto the Most High. But the people is saying to the powers that be, the ruling powers, you know, you have a chance to make some money too.
God.
You remember when the lady came out in the news and was saying, so wait, Corona don't walk on the daytime, Corona walk, Corona don't walk at night too. You have everybody out in the pool mixing in the day, and by thought certain hours in the evening you shut down the place.
God.
And that's the hour. Why she was saying, saying that because that's the hour that the Most High people will do their hustling in the evenings.
God.
Because the big business already have the 9 to 5 hours lock. That's their time. After 5 to about 7, 8, that's when the flatfoot hustlers come out on the road and catch the people coming from work and so on. Because if you notice, if you go in some towns, you realize that you can actually go and shop, buy clothes and so on in the night. When the business close up, you see, it's like another city open, the city open another way, right?
And especially SHALAM, sir, the shop them in the community them.
Community shops make a little change at that time.
God.
From those same people coming from the 9 to 5 job.
God.
Now, all the people is saying, boy, you lock down this thing, Corona lock down the place. You ease up the thing in the day. Ease up the little later in the evening to make some money. But what is the response of the people, of the government? Continue reading.
Verse 2, and Pharaoh said, Who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go?
All right. So that's what you know, say, the most I tell them more than Pharaoh. Now, which man can so bright? It's like Donald Trump,
God.
Because remember Egypt was the superpower of the day. In that time, who is the superpower of the day today?
America.
America is the superpower. So under Donald Trump, people them same one, the same oppressor cause problems in their country that they can't stay, them have to migrate. And they're just saying, just let us come and rest in the place. Right?
Good.
What Donald Trump say? Who God is that I should give any credence to his people? Build some cage. And funny enough, the cages were I tell you, this place not easy, These cages were built before Trump went in office,
That means they will have plans to cage up the Mexican there.
So this is why conspiracy theory will be alive. Will always be alive.
SHALAM, sir. Them used to have the conspiracy theory about the coffin them what them have built. You see, all along.
What they call coffin liners.
Yeah, all along they must say like, through the police state and one bag of thing. All along a black people, them make the coffin them for.
Yeah, and the Northern Kingdom.
You know what I mean?
But shall there be evening in the city, and it's not the Most High that has done it. The Most High is agitating the world to put his people together.
Yeah.
You ever see, well, you sieve sand, so you see, or you sieve out, and the particles of a smaller thing that just fall down, and the one that you would want for another purpose is left in the sieve, and you put it aside, ain't it? So the Most High is agitating the earth in the same way. But what is happening now is a vibration that is, getting the tribes this way, closer and closer.
Bringing everybody
together. You see, Venezuela and join with Trinidad. Pretty soon, you know, I could have get an Asian girl long time, you know what, you know.
Probably.
From a younger youth. But you know, with Jamaicans, we was afraid of the Asians because they used to talk about the voodoo thing. It's since coming in the truth now, I understand. Voodoo is just crap. Well, it's crap in one way, you know, because if the poison that they use, if you get it in the food, then it you know, give it a cripple you in a certain way because the ink that they took, you ever hear about that? The ink from the flounder fish.
God.
It's a fish where when it's under attack, it's pure ink, which temporarily paralyzes its prey.
God.
Now they catch that fish and pull the ink, that same ink from the fish, get it in your food, and tell you about them science you, them obey you. When it get in your bloodstream, you know, it give you that paralysis. But for them, it's when you get in human, obviously, not temporary or backfoot. It's a little more than temporary. Go for a little while. Well, now we know that. We never did know that. But the Most High is pushing the tribes together. Pretty soon, you are going to see one, either the Asian. And guess what? It's happening because the Cubans are here now. Yeah, man, you never go through the town, never see some red people are walking. Look, and the white people are with them.
Yeah, I see some people when I know on white people, you see?
Right. There's either Cuban, not tell you who is here. Cuban, Costa Rican, and Duran.
Okay. Costa Rica feel the coronavirus wicked.
No,
right
yes. And I see a lot of Cubans out here. But, you know, the Cubans, them in a way, they're not pompous to your face. But maybe next time I start to them, but the language barrier.
Yeah.
There's a language barrier. Because I see them all the while. And if you notice, you use kosher machine. You notice you have it in Spanish.
Yeah, I never really.
You never notice that. You have it in. You have the words. You have the English command with the Spanish underneath it. Okay. Kosher is the bank many of them use.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I remember one time they wanted that some help. I was at one of the machine and they weren't speaking English and I don't understand Spanish. I mean, I went to Cuba early, but I didn't learn the language. It's a shame. We need to learn the Spanish. We have more of them who speak English, but a lot of them coming out here not knowing English. So we have to start learning English so we can reach out. And I see them on the street many times and they require assistance with what they are doing. But I can't assist them. I don't speak their language and they don't speak my language. Right? But they find a way around still because one thing, you know, they had a leader who the West didn't like, who was Castro. Castro took care of his people. Right? Which was why the West didn't like him. Castro took care of his people. Education. He made that, well, that was communist still. But he educated them. So you get a Cuban out here, you're not getting a buffoon. Right?
God.
You're getting somebody because a lot of them who come out here is in the medical field. Our government use them a lot. So they come out here, do work. Even the Cuban who might not be a doctor, every Cuban have a trade. You know that? You never know that?
I know that, I know.
Every Cuban have a trade. Even the one that is a doctor, you can ask him what is his first trade. Every Cuban male, I should say, have a skill. Even the one who's a doctor, because that's how the system, orchestra designed the system that they should have a trade before they left school, and they must have one, so they can tell you, I was a plumber, or I know plumbing before my doctor. And every male doctor you see there, an ex-soldier.
God.
Every male doctor, let me rephrase that. Every male Cuban male as an ex-soldier because they have compulsion military service, which was something our government should have looked at. But because maybe if it was Marcus Garvey's party, Marcus Garvey party did name the People's Political Party, PPP. They take out the P and drop the N in there and get what?
The PNP.
People's National Party. But Marcus was People's Political Party.
God.
The same year that Marcus died, the same year the PNP come out. Like you had pointed out before, with the same plans. Could have Marcus and work with him plan.
Yes, kill him off or just kill out him doctrine and you know what I mean.
The doctrine. Well, smite the shepherd and the sheep will
scatter.
The sheep will scatter.
Yes, and two party, you know what I mean. Marcus Garvey party did before them, and then them fight him out and see that them are run Jamaica.
Garvey party began approximately 1920 or 20 something, right?
Yeah.
30, 40, approximately 20 years
God.
of political works in Jamaica. What probably when he migrated to the States, you know, with the UNIA, as them same, we then call them colonial class. It was the same colonial class out here that make it uncomfortable for him to stay.
Yeah.
And force him to have to leave. Right? Now, look at the state we are in. They took his plan, gave us some, and some fired us. One man in the PNP tried to really work with it, in the likes of Michael. Michael tried to work with it to the demise of his political career. And PJ reimbursed him still, but I mean, this is all. That is why the conspiracy theorists will always say there's a government behind the government, right? The cages were built before Trump came in. Michael came in and said, give the people a bigger slice of the pie. Troops then get him out and things go back. Or just go back to what? So there was a norm, a so-called norm or status quo that was there. And the funniest thing, your oppressors understand. It's like they learn it in their school that they don't want you to go to.
God.
All them know what is the status quo. All them know say, and me should be in charge. All when Michael starts say, they don't give the people them a piece more the pie, man. And them start leak out. And America get rid of Michael. And the other person who came in just change things. And everything go back to and everybody do them nice again. Too much to the point where Bobby Green started. Well, I guess that's what they all wanted and blah blah blah. That is why them did call her. You know what they mean call. If you remember when the first set of people who first one who to challenge Edward in the Labour Party. And you had Babsy, Purnell, and some others. The blacks in the party kind of split down the middle in the JLP, that is, you know.
Yeah.
The blacks and the color and the whites and the children of the white, right? And the children of the white, them look over this and say, no Buto can lead me.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's on a way when they say so, but why them say that, you know? Because Babsy and the others were over on the other side who had given in to the CIA and made statement on camera. But things are back to the normal. I guess that's the way it's supposed to be, where the blacks now gone back in servitude. So them rightfully call him a Butu. Right?
Okay, so
I'm not going to take it.
I never for the point that two Babsy black and
the party but
black people.
What it came out that way.
Yeah.
But after I look on the camera and I saw, sorry, I look on some videos prior to that time when they interviewed Babs after the CIA intervention and what she had said, that was why those people called she and Pernell and some others who did work with the CIA, call them Butu. They're spineless for their own people, right? If you notice, there is a group within the Jamaica Labour Party that believes in what the Cuban was assisting us with. Man like the health minister name now, Tufton, and some others, right? But Castro gone. So Andrew was swinging from the status quo. Andrew wanted to, you know, it's like you had two set of people giving you trouble in the past, and he said, me not listen to none of the two of them. So Andrew said, all right, I want to chart a different direction. And they said, all right, fine. We don't have no money put in behind you. That was why when he won, his favorite song was what? Which song he may sing at his swearing in ceremony?
The last election I win?
No, before that.
I don't remember the song.
The song that was trending then was the song the song where one of the artists that sing, like even I said, oh gosh, I forgot the reggae song. But he was saying that I fight for, like when what it was coming out like, you know, boy, I did it. You didn't hurt me, but I do it. So Andrew chose that song.
Oh, that song, the Nesbeth in name. I must say, look at me now.
Look at me now.
Yeah.
Right. And Nesbeth in him.
Yeah, man.
Look at me now. Yeah. Because they have decided that they're not going to put no money behind Andrew. Right? Andrew. That is why under Andrew, things are not so much like, you know, this hard line, what is PNP and what is JLP. You know, see so much under Andrew, because Andrew want to do away with the whole narratives, right? But in any case, the stars are being torn down, and it's the children of the, and it's the people of the Most High businesses that are being affected.
Okay.
So the government behind the government is still there. I have a Michael T program I can listen to. Michael call them the cliques.
Okay.
Yes. In the States, they call them, you hear them talk about Illuminati. I know Illuminati. What do you call them?
The elites are the
yeah, they refer to them as the elites.
Elites are
whatever name they give them. And this is why conspiracy theory won't die. Because when people look what they see, right?
Okay.
So what's the reason behind tearing down the stars? I mean, how is the system putting the pressure? I don't want to use the term on the right set of people, but how are they able to put in the pressure on the Most High's people alone? You get me?
Good.
And at the same time, you know, the Prime Minister said he was trying to swing away from the old narrative, see? But at the same more things changing, more remain the same as you see. Conspiracy theory won't die.
Okay.
Donald Trump first when he came in, he said, oh, during the swamp. Right? We will get rid of the old guards, the old way of doing things in DC. Remember that term when him just come in?
Good.
Then him start lock up, call Mexican rapists and them people coming down, rapists and this and that and that. So he how him same swinging from the whole thing, yet him doing more of the same thing, just in another way. That's why people now always say there's a government behind the government. So it's Egypt all over again. Pharaoh, let us go and serve our God. Oh, so you have time. Who is this God that you speak of? What a way you have time to waste. Continue reading.
Another one, gone. And Pharaoh said, verse 2, and Pharaoh said, who is the Lord that I should obey his voice to let Israel go? I know not the Lord, neither will I let Israel go.
All right. So who is this God that you speak of? I don't know him. Neither will I let you go. Continue.
Another one, gone, verse 3, and they said, the God of the Hebrews has met with us. Let us go, we pray thee, 3 days' journey into the desert, and sacrifice unto the Lord our God, lest he fall upon us with pestilences, pestilence, or with the sword.
Lease what?
Pestilence.
No, read that part again. Lease.
Another one, gone. Lest,
Verse what? 3 or 4?
verse 3, lest he fall upon us with
lest he fall upon us
God.
with pestilence and with the sword. Meaning, we could go serve God before him kill we no man. That's what they basically saying, you know. They said the God of the Hebrew had met with us. Let us go, we pray you, 3 days journey into the desert and sacrifice unto the Lord our God. In other words, let us separate from you for a couple of days and get our things together and come back. But the superpower of the day cannot allow the slaves to go, not even for a day. That is how, and you can see it during the shutdown when the Most High forced them in the Corona time. In the Corona time here to close the cities. They had to, no movement. So the Most High people still didn't get to go in no desert. But we did get time by ourselves and to really look at things and enjoy some separation for a couple of days. And then they killed George a couple of months, and then they killed George Floyd. And it wake up the tired, the rested people. That's why they were able to demonstrate for so much days, you know. They're coming off some rest and then after going to the following day. Yeah. So they were able to demonstrate. But this is the Most High cat fight. This is the Most High showing his people the kind of people that they are around. Use Trump to do it. But the narrative that Trump was pushing was no different from the mainstream politics in America. They had a problem with immigrants. They find the right person. They build the cages. Nobody didn't know what the cages was for, you know. So how were they able to find the right man to come and lock up the people in the cages? See?
Gosh.
It's just that the corona catch them off guard. That's how you know it's the Most High.
Yeah, because, all right. Salakia. Make it rest.
That's how the corona catch them off guard.
God.
In that they come with a timetable now. Get these people in cages. You know what happened? If they were if the Most High allowed them to continue, those people would have become slaves on the farms. They would have become the ones to pick the things on the farm. because it's free labor that you have now.
God.
So, bam, you try them and they say, no, I'm going to serve some 10 years in prison and so on. Next thing you know, 10-year hard labor. And it's the same farm they're going to work on, the farm work program and thing get knocked. But the most I have to shut things down because he sees the move that the systems are making against its people. And Jamaica is no different. They shut the school vending before Corona. People stop making money out of tourism before Corona. And what again we talk about? And now it's like a move on the hustlers in the city. Right? So not even to make some monies from the city life. Just what you would say, hustle. No. Not even that they can't allow to do. Continue reading. Let's see what fear is doing.
Another one can. Lest he fall upon us with pestilence or with the sword. Verse 4. And the king of Egypt said unto them, Wherefore do ye Moses and Aaron let the people from their works? Get you unto your burdens. Verse 5.
Get you unto your work. Go back to work. Back to work. Oh, you make Moses and Aaron come take on off a job, but you don't want. Back to work. Continue.
Another one can. Verse 5. And Pharaoh said, Behold, the people of the land now are many, and he make them rest from their burdens. Verse 6. And Pharaoh commanded the same day the taskmasters of the people and their officers, saying, verse 7, Ye shall not more, no more, give the people straw to make bread.
You shall no more give the people straw to make bread. So you shall no more allow them to go and vend anywhere. Close it down, the vending, the tourism vending. Close down the school vending. And now you're moving on street side vending.
Good.
What next? You shall no more be allowed to vend. You are going to make money only where we say you are to make money. And I don't know where that is. Continue.
Another one gun. Let them go and gather straws for themselves. Verse 8. And the tail of the bricks which they did make heretofore, he shall lay upon them, he shall not diminish aught thereof.
Meaning what? Meaning what? The same quota that they had to full daily, you shall not diminish. Don't take off nothing off a quota. So in other words, you were supposed to make 500 bricks per day. You were making 500 bricks a day. You are now going to look this straw. The straw you used to have a set of people who bring this straw to the brick makers.
Good.
Now, you the brick maker is going to look your own straw. And you're still going to make 500 bricks per day. You get me?
Yeah, God.
That's how we increase the burdens. So in Jamaica now, people are earning something, making a living. When they look and see the people buying cars, houses changing. So hold on, man. You hold on and look and say, hold on, man. Something a trickle down us upon the people. Them. I wonder what. And then look and say, you know, so this street side hustling there. Tell you what, no more street side hustling. Go and find jobs. Go and look jobs in all from these nations that you are amongst. No more hustling on your own. That's a move that they are making now. So they are and guess what? They're not opening avenues in farming. But the good thing is that they can't close farming. Once you can make that produce, is either you will need it to consume or the person within your locality is going to need it. As long as the Most High allow it to grow. And if this is the time that the Most High begins to move, we know that our black farmers will begin to see changes in what used to happen to them on their farm. So blacks can go into farming now. You get me? And see something out of it. And the see that you have to see something out of it, you have to sell, get your produce to your people. Right? You know, when you go to anybody can come buy it, and you're not selling, you're not being partial to any race. Say, oh, I'm only selling to blacks. No, you're selling everybody. But the mindset that you have should be you're producing for your people. That's how you're going to see something out of your farm. Because the Most High is now going to, bit by bit, ease the pressure from you. While it appears that you are being squeezed by the system and so on, it's a push from the Most High to get you to separate from the system. Come out of her, my people, right? So you can't go depend on the city again. Go back to the countryside, plant something, raise 2 animals, right? Stop, be on guard from these prudent and larcenies. Get into the truth and understand what is happening. And you will see some changes. You will see changes. All right, I don't know if we can touch Joshua. Well, 19. How long is 19? All right, because the Most I will put, no, how long now? 51. 51 verse. No, touch that. The Most I will put the pressure. All right, we'll find it again. What he says again. He will take the cup off. Not he will take from us the cup of war again and put it on the other nations. Whatever when say we drink down to the dregs.
Same scripture. That's the one, the 2 of them we quote. I see him scripture.
Yes, yeah, I think so. We have drunk down to the dregs of the Most High's wrath, I think. He said.
Okay. This is
Psalms, Isaiah. I'm going to check Isaiah 51 and 17. I think Yeah, somewhere this one.
God, I think this. God, verse 7, Isaiah 51:17 and 22.
17, but down to 22.
God, verse 17 says,
Hold on.
not down to, then two scripture talk about it.
All right, read from 17 down.
God, another one gun. Isaiah chapter 51, verse 17. Awake, awake, stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury, and thou hast drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling, and wrung them out. Verse 18. There is none to guide her among.
All right. 17 is saying that we should wake up. So it's in our sleep state, our dead state, that we have drunk down to the dregs of the cup of trembling from thing, and it's and wrung them out. You know what that is saying? You ever see a rum man with a cup and then drink and all that was joke and sing goes up. He said, boy, rum really done, and just ring a cup and drink. Well, that's what the Most High is saying. Right? That's how you know that we are really the Most High's people. Because the narratives, white man not talk so. I said, boy, you drink the cup and ring out the cup. You can't ring cup.
Yeah, you can't ring a cup.
So, and if you must say we ring cup, that is showing how much that is saying we get more punishment than we should get.
Yeah.
That's what you're basically saying, Because you can't ring a cup.
Take every last drop.
You got to shake out it and ring the cup. You can't ring a cup. So that is telling you that we have got more punishment than we should have. I already did it Deuteronomy again. This was 50 something.
Deuteronomy
28 that one.
28 and those 16.
Oh, we read 1 and 2 and 15 and 16, and then we drop down to where?
Oh, verse 65.
Then drop down to 65. And we read Exodus 5, 1 to 1 to 8. 1 to 8. And now Isaiah is saying from the book of Isaiah, that we have, it says awake, because, all right, look at our people that are still asleep, who still would kill you for the white man's religion, who still would kill you in protecting the false narrative of the white Christ, right? They are so much asleep and so much scared that they think that walking away is wrong, even though they read the Bible for themselves and see that that's not the image of Christ.
Walking away from
but they're still going to church. Right? So Isaiah is saying in Isaiah 51:17 that we should get awake. Because in our sleeping state, because we are asleep and dead to the law and dead to the punishment of the covenant, we have been getting the punishment of the Most High. And it's only when you wake up that you can stop the punishment. So we are in the last days now. So the cup done already. And we still getting it, you know. This is the ringing of the cup now, you know. This is the period of time that we are now ringing the cup. Still want some more punishment. Because what? Most I start to move on the other nation. Continue reading.
Another one, gun, verse 18. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she had brought forth.
That is talking about who now? The 12th tribe.
God.
There was none until 1969 when Judah began to rise. Right? It was Judah who began to rise in 1969, right there in Harlem. And Benjamin and the Levites, but more so Benjamin. Well, Benjamin and Levites, right there with Judah riding, because that is the northern kingdom. That's the northern kingdom, rising and providing guidance unto the people. So much to the demise of us being disrespected, going through all kind of disrespect from our people. Well, that was then, you know, we have endured because of the wise guidance of Commanding General YAHANNA, who has told the men not to retaliate.
God.
Yeah, because you know, in Obama time, we get the disrespect, man. Right in Obama time, man. When they say Obama was a savior. So when we go out there and tell them that, I don't expect anything different from this, man. You are at this, you are at that too. So you can spit at our people. DC camp, you know, Captain Mashak, big ups to Captain Mashak still. And Captain our Captain Nayata. The guards and the three general. Oh, let me tell you, man, they said that camp they go through things each weekend, man. People come up against that camp, man. I tell you, because it's like that's right in the capital. That's where you have the toughest head of Israelite, it seems. Because the attacks that we talk about is from our own people. You know? Except for the attack that the Kentucky had commander. That probably is a wake-up call unto us now. Say, you know, the mother nation don't come up on you still, you know, because you mash up the status quo. You understand? You can't really touch the status quo and think that it's business as usual. Christ did it because in life it was necessary.
God.
So don't touch the status quo and think it's gonna be business as usual. Can't be. All right, that's what 18, read 18.
Another one, gun.
Start it again. There.
Verse 18. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she has brought forth.
Right, talking about the 12th tribe.
Another one, gun. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she has brought up.
Talking about who now? The other people, the mixed multitude, who has been among us, learning our laws, being with us, not even them, to say, long time we are sparring now. Make we help you. You understand?
God.
So the mixed multitude narrative is crap. Not, read it again, neither.
Another one, gun. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she has brought up.
Right. So there is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth. Talking about the 12th tribe. Neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she has brought up. We have brought up other nations, mixed multitude that have been up. The Canaanites, who we weren't able to drive out, who were living among us. Yeah, them became tributary to unto us, but they had to keep our laws. Right?
God.
None of these people, as say, why Israel listen, Israel needed.
God.
Let us help Israel. No. What them do? Catch them people and sell them to them white man there. You understand?
God.
These are the things that he's talking about here. Continue.
Another one, gun. Verse 19. These two things are come upon thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction.
So we have become desolate and we have been destroyed. And
Another one, gun. And the famine and the sword.
Right. So desolation and destruction, one thing. And famine and sword. You're hungry and them still a kill you. That's what it's talking about there, you know. You are hungry and you are still being killed. For what? Because the vendor them now no. It's not like they are saving up for a 401k. Or they are, you know, they can barely, most of them go on the road, they have to sell it. But what? These stores are feeling it now. So they want your share of money. First thing they go to the government, you know, and say, right, you can't pay much tax, we don't make no money, the vendor, they might make you all of the money. That's all they have to say now. And then what? The government understand that song. Say, all right, we have to get rid of the man who not paying the upfront tax so that we can keep this man who is paying to us estate tax and land tax and all kind of different taxes. We have to keep him on the books. That's a regular shops, you know. Right? So they destroy your business for those shops. And those shops are not owned by Israelite. If you have 10% Israelite in any one of the city, Westmoreland used to be, that is Savlamar, used to be 100% black owned business. You had the few other nations that was there didn't even pop up on the radar. If you do a survey, they would fall in the margin of error. What Westmoreland know? The Chinese, what Westmoreland know? You ever go down there? I go down there one of the week and see one of the thing there, one of the Saturdays, and see if we can drop some flyers down there and you see get to see the place. I tell them, man, that's the state of, that is desolation that we are in. That Isaiah is speaking of. That's the desolation. And famine and the sword that is what is happening, is coming on now. Because you don't have the business place again. So you're gonna get hungry. Most of us did give up farming, come out of farming, because with a flatfoot hustling would pay them more than to go farm, because larceny and drought and all things would kill out the farm. So going in the city and juggle used to make sense. But now, the thing with farming, you know, farming is not something that you can decide today that you're going to flatfoot hustle this weekend and make some money. Farming is not something that turn around so quick. So farming is going to take our people, right? And with that, the sword, because you're going to have to sleep and watch three man will come to take what you have. Continue.
Another one, gun. Verse 20. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net.
All right. What do you mean by if you ever, every corner is a company, it's a corner man, don't?
Gun.
What we call them? In the streets, man.
Gun.
That's what it's talking about. They are in the streets, man. The sons have fainted, meaning what? Our sons who would have been the stalwarts in the truth and been Israel to the bone, they don't know nothing about that. So they have fainted in the godliness that gone. Stand up on the street side now, I'm the one who look for rob you. Right?
And many of them are smoke weed and all them things.
Yeah, man. I thought about one who not can. Bunny weed, I say, you know, meet the Anunnaki already. Meet over the tell me, say, link the Anunnaki already. But really, I say, after you bunny weed, he say, yeah, man. And don't tell me, say, anyway, if you come off of drugs. So weed is drugs. That was in Portmore. All right, 20. Read 20 again.
Another one, gone. Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in a net.
And what a net does?
And it catch.
Right. Trap. So in the streets, man, them is the quicker man to get locked up, don't it?
Gone.
Right, I see. So the Most High knows what he's talking about. Continue reading.
Another one, gone. And this Slakia. They are full of fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God.
Yeah, man. You're going to tell them, so Israelite. And them first, them street man, you know.
God.
When they're in a trouble and then decide, say, boy, you know, we need to go serve God now, you know, where them go?
Church.
Because they are full of fury of the Lord. But you tell them the truth and say they're going to rebuke you. 21.
Another one gone. Verse 21. Therefore, hear now, this thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine.
You are being afflicted and drunken with false doctrine, not with wine. You better if I drink them in drink, take 2 shots and drunk. You'll be sober tomorrow. But the false doctrine that can carry to false doctrine can carry you to your grave.
God.
Wrong kind of thing to be drunken by. Continue.
Another one gone. Verse 22. Thus saith the Lord,
thy Lord,
Slakia, thy Lord, the Lord, and thy God that pleaded, thy God that pleaded the cause of his people.
What do you mean by pleaded is the cause of his people? Coronavirus is the Most High pleading with these nations for us.
Yeah.
That's how the Most High pleads. Shut down everything. That's what I was in a way, you know, we Jamaicans look at things in a way. That's how you know we're really the Most High people. When the police them kill the youth them randomly, man them just decide, say, well, since as we are dead, don't know can dead too. I start to kill what I did.
Yeah.
Start to kill them out. And so as I said, we are dead too, so nothing. Kill we dead for dead. You understand? So this is how the Most High thinks. Why people now make nothing out of your system, so shut it down. Make everybody hungry. You understand?
Yeah.
That's how the Most High works. He's pleading the cause of the people. Send the corona. So all the mutation they out there, you know, America have 7 waiting. 7 strain. That no come from nowhere. That 7 strain. That's the word we use again. Mutate. That 7 strain mutate right there in America. Just waiting at the right time. So when them vaccinate the city and say, yes, we have reached herd immunity, we can go back to normal. Then, oops. And it's going to be worse because you're going to have 7 strain that you're going to have to study, plus some other ones that are out there in Brazil, South Africa, England. It's mutating everywhere, you know.
In Africa, South Africa.
Yeah. Brazil, England. So when the vaccine now and them reach the state that they can go out again, because every time you make this mass push, it go on the rise. We went in a lockdown and then they say, all right, we have gotten the counts down. We can open back the schools. Then, whoops, it start climb again. So now they say, boy, it's only the student and we're going to have exam this year. We can allow in school. Everybody else have to go online. Shut down again. You understand? So when the vaccine and the thing that is going to work, oops, ain't going to work. Continue. Verse 22.
Another one gun.
Read 22 again. Thus saith the Lord.
Another one gun. Verse 22. Thus saith the Lord, thy Lord, the Lord and thy God, that pleadeth the cause of his people.
Right. By busting everybody else. No partiality. Behold,
I have taken out of thine hand the cup of trembling.
Right. So the same cup that we are presently now ringing, trying to get, not even though it's sufferation, we're ringing out of the cup. The most I say, I have taken that cup out of thine hand. So this coronavirus supposed to be, we supposed to now look and see how we can separate from the system and survive.
God.
That's what we going to have to do. Because obviously you can't survive in a system again. Because of Corona, and obviously that's the most I put in it there. Eh? Take the cup of trembling out of your and your Israelite hand, even
another one gun, even the dregs of the cup of my fury.
So down to the dregs that you are trying to wring out, you're going to take that out of your hand.
Thou shalt no more drink it again.
Barak, what you said, Barak.
Barakataya Yahweh
Shai. Glory be to the Most High, man. This is the last sufferation Israel going through. Thou shalt no more drink it again. So if we're not drinking it, not drinking the Most High fury, who's going to drink it? 23.
Another one gun, verse 23. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
He is going to put it in the hands of the oppressor. So they are the ones now we're going to see the same rebuke that we were experiencing. When we tell you that rebuke is the racism, it's the same, name them. Name the different sufferation. Them.
Systematic.
Flat foot hustling that them push you through. Systematic racism. Killing our imprisoning us, killing our children, Planned Parenthood. You think of them, right? Not feeding, we're not going to give them unclean food to eat, because we're not going to deal with the unclean food. They're going to find that on their own. But the Most High is saying that he is going to take that cup from us. And what? Put it in the hand of the same man who is afflicting you now. So because him never did, the same mixed multitude who say, when you're in sufferation, you're on your own, but when it looks like you're going to rise, well, we are a part of it, you know. We have been from Moses' time. That's why the Most High make sure we lay it out here, so you know, and show you the desolation we went in. We are not able to help ourselves, and those who were among us, not helping us. Right? So, but them all get it. So mixed multitude and Edens for them time to go drink of the cup, drink from the cup of affliction, because we shall no more drink it again. All we know is going to happen because the Most High has spoken it. Right? Continue.
Another one gun. Which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over.
Right. Take away reggae music and them making the money of it. That is us bowing down, that them going over now. Make billions out of reggae music. Tourists come out here for what? The Jamaican culture, the jerk chicken, the party. You know, who is making the money now? The oppressor. Because what? We have bowed down so that they can go over. We have showed it to them. The Trinidadian, we cut the pan across here and say, food, jerk chicken. Him turn it pan the street and ding, 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 make a steel band out of it. Them gone with that too. The music, who is making the money? And then not the regular man in Trinidad. You think of what the Barbadian make with it. All right, we're still out for discussion what the Bayesian has made with the job. How what come from the thing there. But you look at the foods that we have made. West Indian cuisine, it's called West Indian cuisine. Who is making money from it? When the tourists come and say, well, come on Jamaica, come on Trinidad for some West Indies cuisine. Who is making the money? Right? There was a time when tourists come and, because we used to see tourists down in other town, you know? Yeah, tourists used to stop right there so and come buy a little, your this and your that. Two things them in love though, the red stripe and the Pepsi. Come like they love Jamaican Pepsi. And they were able to look around and, oh, nice little place, and then walk about. And if a jerk man up on the corner, better have enough jerk chicken when a tourist bus stop in place. It a sell off. It's a flavor that they don't taste. Even now, when they are able to come out of the all-inclusive and go on the street, they say, but the food that they give us in the all-inclusive is not so nice. It don't taste like this, man. Right? The thing, the soup, our pea soup with the Scotch bonnet pepper, not the heat, but the flavor, the Scotch bonnet flavor. These are the things that made our food special, and the tourists also come out here for it, and our people could have made some money from it. So we have come up with this culture, which they have now taken away, right? What them name down there? Elsha come up with festival Elsha thing.
Yeah.
JF Mills take it away. Everybody have it to use, right? Jerk chicken. Won't tell about it on jerk pork. The jerk chicken start in Portland Parish. What they call that place again? Boston. Right there in Boston, Portland. Who making jerk sauce now? Right? You can go in a store and buy jerk sauce. Made by who? Right? So we have carved up this culture that the world love, but who is going over on it? The oppressor is making the money from it. So that's why you so long this, right? Bow down that we may go over. Continue.
Gun around gun. And thou, Slakia, and thou last laid thy body, and thou hast laid thy body as the ground.
So what? What that mean? You know what that is saying? Is you them walk over and you're back. Because what? Same black people working for them in the same place that made this jerk sauce.
God.
And jerk season. The same black people working at JF Mills for them making the same festival. Same black people working in the all-inclusive, in the entertainment era, cooning with the reggae music and cooking in their kitchens, preparing the same food that the tourists would have come out here to you for, right? So they have climbed over on your backs. They have used a box for the ground. That's what it is saying here. And
another one gun. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground and as the street to them that went over.
So they went over on your back. Slavery, well, you know slavery. We were the horse and carriage, right? We were the total horse and carriage during slavery. Corona, the reopening the cities in the states. Which one they open first? The black majority cities, because America still is going over on the backs of the Most High people. They open those cities. We look at it and say, hey, they might open if you kill we have. That's how we were looking at it. But when Commanding General and the generals look at the demography of the money making, they realize that these cities fuel other cities. So you can get the car moving before you start the engine. And the engine is the black majority states. So So in order to get the other states running, you have to get the engine running first. You get me?
God.
So they had to open them first because we are the backs. In this entire system is being on our backs. They want the stores not making so much money, close down the vending. Who is going in the store to spend? We same one. Going over on our backs again. Right? Use our backs as the ground and as a street. That is what is happening in today's society. That and Isaiah was written before Christ. Every single oppression that we have been through, this is how it is done. But the Most High is saying this is the last. He's taking the cup from us and put it in the hands of those that afflicted us. Right? And with that question.
Yeah, sir.
And with that, pass the class over to priest and officer. Kayadwan.
Clap it up.
Our protection. You read this first, no? Right?
Yeah, security announcement.
Yeah, and then the plan.
This is the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command in Gen.YAHANNA. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or a sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, you can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3 verse 8 to 10. Means tenth in Hebrew and is pronounced ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give, upcoming holy convocation, Passover, the 24th of April 2021, 14th day of the first month, Saturday, April 24th, 2021. Exodus 12, you can find this in Exodus 12, verse 1 to 50, Leviticus 23, verse 4 to 5, 1 Corinthians 5, 7 to 8, and 2 Chronicles 30 and 17. Reminding Akiam and Aquatiam to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so on for ISUPK events and material. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which include black boot, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And with that, I say a majam. We're going to say the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. Turn and face the east. Abanawa,
Abanawa,
Shabashamaya,
Shabashamaya,
Kwadash,
Kodash,
Aya,
Aya,
Shamka,
Shamka,
Yahawa,
Yahawa,
Malakwatka,
Malakwa,
Taba'a,
Taba,
Ratazaka,
Atazaka,
Aya,
Aya,
Aisha,
Aisha,
Barataza,
Arataza,
Kawa,
Kawa,
Aya,
Aya,
Bashamaya,
Bashamaya,
Natan Lanawa,
Natananawa,
Lakam,
Akam,
Kal,
Kal,
Yawam,
Yawam,
Wasalak Lanawa,
Wasalakla now,
Kawabwat Nawa,
Kawabwat now,
Kasalak Nawa,
Kasalak now,
Kawabwat Yanawa,
Kawabwat now,
Wala,
Walaha,
Tabaya Anawa,
Tabaya now,
Banasaya Wan,
Manasaya,
Abal,
Aba,
Awashai Nawa,
Washayna,
Maya,
Maya,
Rai,
Rai,
Kaya,
Kaya,
Laka,
Laka,
Amalakwa,
Amalakwa,
Wahahala,
Wahala,
Watapara,
Watapara,
La Aiwa Lamyam,
Laiwana,
Amen.
Am.
In English,
Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come,
thy kingdom come,
thy will be done in earth,
thy will be done in
as
earth,
it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread,
Give us this day our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts,
and forgive us our debts,
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into
but
temptation,
deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the
and
kingdom,
the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be it.
So be it.
I.S.U.P.K prayer for the punish, the curses. Blessed are you, Yahweh,
Blessed are you, Yahweh,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven and earth,
King of heaven,
King
and,
of heaven and earth,
and all things living.
and all things living.
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh,
in the name of Yahweh,
listen to us now,
listen to us now,
right now.
right now.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and destruction
to the heathen
to the heathen
that speak against us,
that speak against us,
thy prophets,
thy prophets,
the teachers, the
teachers,
princes,
the princes,
the priests,
the priests,
the Israelite brothers,
the Israelite brothers,
and the school.
and the school.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and
and
curses,
punishment and destruction
and punishment and
to
destruction
the heathen,
to the heathen,
and shake loose the treasures
and shake loose the treasures
of the rich of Israel
of the rich of Israel
that refuse to give to the school.
that refuse to give to the school,
Force their riches
force their riches
to enter into thy sanctuary.
to enter into thy sanctuary.
Send evils and curses,
Send evils and curses,
and punishment and destruction
and punishment and
to
destruction
the Edomites,
to the Edomites,
and the nations,
and the nation,
and their drug dealers,
and their drug
the
dealers,
court system,
the court
the
system,
prison system,
the prison system,
Planned Parenthood,
Planned Parenthood,
all the governments of our enemies,
all the governments of our enemies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Amalek synagogues and armies,
Roman Catholic Church,
Roman Catholic Church,
the Pope,
Islam,
Christianity,
Christianity,
Egyptology,
militia,
Ku Klux Klan,
Ku Klux Klan,
Aryan Nation,
Skinhead,
Posse Comitazi,
Comitazi,
gay movement,
the gay
the
movement,
lesbian movement,
spies,
workers of witchcraft,
workers of witchcraft,
NASA space program, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet, and the airways, the cable access channel, and the radio channel, convict the spirit of any of thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand up in the way, or try to stop us from broadcasting your word throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them to go to and fro through the earth, and consume them. Let the plagues shake the house of the thief, and the murderer. Let Yahweh shine, Michael and Gabriel, come down with the flying saucers, and punish all the heathen that come up against us, as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you always so be. Next prayer. Prayer for the power.
All right, this is the prayer for the power. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai and Baba Kasha.
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Baba Kasha.
Nathan Lanawa,
Nathan Lanawa,
Akak,
Akak, Larapa,
Kalmakala, Wakal Madawa, Akak, Lata, Hamatazariam, Akak Silakia, Lahakwa Yam, Amatiam, Akak, Ilrakawa, Latamala, Lagarashan, Ba Hashem Yahweh. Amen.
Tawada Aman. In English, Yahweh in the name of Yahweh.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
Power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the leper.
Power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
Power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
To cast them out in the name of Yahweh.
Thank you, so be.
Thank you, so be. Alright, so one courtesy salute to the teacher. Amajum Shabbat. Silaki Amajum. Amajum Shabbat. Barak. Amajum Barak. Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai Barakatah.
Yadamata, turn and face the sister. Amajum Shabbat. Amajum Barak.
Yahweh Shema Ailatan Basham Yahushai.
Yahweh Shema Ailatan Basham Yahushai.
Yadamata, class dismissed.
Nice journey. I probably I can leave too though.